Welcome to the BBC podcast. Tuning in with Tucci today. Our boy JP on the line. We got the one and only Chef Don on the other line. He's able to tune in with us today on a nice Zoom call from Texas.
Yo, what's up? This
JP, just like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Let's get it started. What was all yours, man?
ChefDon, nice to meet you all. You can find me on YouTube, ChefDon. You can find me on all other platforms as The ChefDon, TheChefDon.
All right, cool, man. Let's get it in, man. Pretty much same way, man. I found you on YouTube, man. Love the content, man. Yeah, life for sure, straight up.
Appreciate you.
To start off with, man, like, we see your questions and everything, how you get on with the ladies and everything. Like, are you coming across like a whole boatload, man, of just women just being delusional with themselves like nowadays?
Honestly, you know how it goes. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. I mean, seeing your content goes from like city to city, man. Like, can you feel the same? Like what scenes are you hitting in, man, and like what demographic of ladies are you touching with?
So demographic, honestly, college and above. So I'm really hitting that like 18 to 36-year-old demographic. Trying to hit like colleges, heavily populated like areas where like the bar scene late night, and then like spring break destination locations. So like I went to Florida, you saw, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, or then I'll go to like, local events. So I was in Boston for the Warriors game, and then, try to have a relevant topic there in the scene where people feel comfortable, get stuff off their chest.
Yeah, for sure. So far, like, is it best to catch them while they're like fresh on the street walking around, or like pretty much like when they're already been there for like some hours, a few drinks coming through?
Honestly, I like to get a mixture, right? So I see people entering the bars and I see people exiting the bars. It's always good to get a mixture because, people are like, oh, you're taking advantage of people that are drunk, whatnot. Me personally, they see me with the camera when they're going into the bar. They see me with the camera when they come out of the bar. A lot of times, some people are like, let me get my screen time before I go in. Some people are like, let me get my screen time once I come out. My friends are waiting for me already inside the bar. So.
Have you caught
anyone like as they go into the bar and the same people as they come out to the bar?
I'm sorry, do you mean
like their different reaction, like their sober reaction, then their drunk reaction?
So I tend to not double dip on like asking the same person the same question, but a lot of times I have seen like somebody has gone into the bar a lot more sober and they come out a lot more drunk and they're like encouraging their friends like, yo, you got to get in this. I did it. It was super fun. So that kind of really helps. I try to get people out of their comfort zone and have them feel comfortable at the same time. And then that kind of like bounces off and encourages them to encourage their friends to pop in my videos.
I'll say, man, I've been following your content for a little while, man. I've seen maybe just about like a week ago, you were with Hasif from the roommates. You jumped in on one of their interviews.
Yeah, so I was traveled to Dallas for the Purple Pill podcast. I actually was on there with Just Pearly Things. If you're familiar with her,
I watched her content too.
Yeah. So I was actually on her panel, and we actually did a video that I'm going to have releasing here in the upcoming few weeks. Unfortunately, I didn't get to talk with Hafiz from the roommates, but I did get to sit in and watch their podcast between Hafiz and Just Pearly Things. Really what I wanted to do was just, immerse myself in a location where there's a lot of content creators and just gain a lot of knowledge because I'm not a professional in that space, but I definitely like to hear both sides. I kind of lean like more Pearly's side of it, but I definitely like to, see both sides of everything.
Okay. Being like the whole, like you said, between Pearly and Hasif and them, how are you seeing nowadays with say a man between 25 and 30. The way these girls act in the streets, man, would you recommend like a guy be out looking for a girl to wife up right now, or that age bracket? Would you say, man, like the areas that you're in, man, should the guys just be having fun right now? Like, what would you recommend?
Me personally, I wouldn't recommend any guy goes out searching for a lady. I don't recommend the same thing for ladies. I think that if I hate to be like that cliche of like things will come, but I think if you put yourself in the right locations, obviously that's not late at night at the bar because we know what goes down after the bars. You're hooking up.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a hookup culture, right? So like obviously if you find yourself at the bar chilling with hoes, you're gonna attract hoes, and that's what you're gonna get, right? So if you're at the library and you see ladies reading books, or if you're out at places where educated people go, like conventions, things like that, then maybe you'll find somebody that maybe you're interested in because you have commonalities outside of drinking and twerking and seeing butts and money. So, but definitely 25, 35. I don't think it's the time for a man to go and commit. Do I see it very often? I see my friends right now on the daily. We've all just graduated college as of the last 2 to 4 years, and everybody's popping up with a ring, thinking they're in love, but really they're just infatuated and haven't seen the world. But I definitely think there are ladies out there that are marriage material. Me personally, I'm not. I'm worried about this bag, and I'm worried about coming with myself before encouraging to pop the ring.
Okay. I even seen that check out your page a little bit too, man. I see like you actually had like a little journeyman in the fitness world to get fit again.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I've always had a dedication for working out. I've always been an athlete. When I came to college, it was a decision that did I want to go to school for academics or go to school for sports. I had a full ride for academics, so I rolled with that. Midway through college, I had the opportunity to be a walk-on in school for preferred walk-on. I didn't have to try out or anything. I had like a meeting with the head coach, but I decided to part ways with that after a couple spring ball practices. It just wasn't for me. Waking up at 4 a.m. and I already had a full ride, so like there wasn't much else into it. And my mom kind of hit me with that. Are you doing it for the ladies and the free gear, or are you doing it because you see yourself in the NFL? So I had to come to terms with that. But yeah, as of recently, I've been hitting it pretty hard. As soon as we're done with this, I'm headed to the lab. I'm like I said, I'm worried about bettering myself because that's what you need to do at this age.
Yeah, man. Now you got thumbs up, and then I try to tell the guys like get their stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Get your value up. The ladies around you that you're chasing, that you should be like spending more time on yourself. They'll recognize it, and it'll be easier to get the girls, and it'll be less of a chase.
You can't put time in you can't put time in other things like that unless you put time in yourself first.
Dead on.
So like, what would you say with the whole ladies? Man, I've seen one of your videos where you were asking the girls that were like about the bachelor parties.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, man, like. Are the girls like aware that they're on camera? This is gonna be like on YouTube, or they just like really freely like that? They just don't care. They just tell.
Yeah, because one of them chicks is just like, yeah, she cheated on him tonight. What the?
Yeah, and what's funny is I actually had that clip edited in like 3 different ways coming out on my YouTube shorts and Facebook and TikTok, whatnot. Yeah. But I'm assuming you guys saw it in my full-length video.
Yeah.
Completely out of their friends. And what's crazy is before every single video, right, I'll go up, I'll kind of get familiar with the area, right? That video was in Nashville, right? So I'll walk up and down the area so I know, I try to get a feeling of, the mood of everybody in the area, what the weather's like, what type of events are going on, how certain people are reacting to certain questions. So I always go out there with 2 or 3 questions. Hey, this is me giving the details. This is some juice right here. So I always go out there with 2 or 3 questions ready, right? Because if this doesn't hit, I don't want to waste my whole 2 hours to 3 hours of my night trying to ask a question that's not gonna, get the reactions that I'm looking for, right? So like one question that might be good on a college campus isn't gonna be good in Nashville where there's a whole different age demographic, right? So I go there, like I said, I'm warming people up with the questions. It's your boy ChefDon. Nice to meet you. Where you from? Da da da. I hit them with those intro questions. A lot of times those get edited out in the videos. But you see at the beginning where everybody's giving their name and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then a lot of times people will be like, "Oh my gosh, is this for TikTok? Oh my gosh, is this for YouTube?" Because what they see is late at night I have this big light, right? It's the one I have right now. I put it on top of my camera, right?
Okay.
And I try to turn it off after each and every clip, but people see the light, they come across, they want to be on camera, right? So they start doing stupid things that sometimes, right? Sometimes people are inebriated. A lot of times people are sober because I'm catching them before they go into the bar, even if they pregame. But what's funny is a lot of times at the end, people will try and message me like on Instagram, like days later, like, "Oh my gosh, I was so drunk, da da da," or "My dad's a lawyer," or "I'm gonna contact my lawyer." My secret sauce is block. And that's the end of it, because one, they're not gonna sue me. And two, they have a camera, a light, and a microphone that's literally obvious. That's right in your face. Nobody coerced you to do anything. You can't tell me you didn't know it was going on the internet. I just blocked them because I don't want to do this isn't tennis. I'm not doing back and forth.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
That's great.
Okay.
So how much of the stuff you film doesn't make the cut?
So I try to get everybody in the video that I've like recorded. So like typically I do more sauce, 20 to 30 clips per night, right? I try to get all the clips in the video. Whether or not you get a full length is determined on what your answer is, right? I do everything authentic, nothing scripted. I have one interview that I did with Swagboy Q, and he actually does scripted content. I asked him authentically about a question, right? He gave me a fugazi answer, which I can't. The answer was funny. It was fugazi. I didn't script nothing, but that's why he has 27 million on TikTok, and he's a cool dude and everything. But that's the only thing that has ever been remotely fugazi. But honestly, I really haven't had any problems. So.
Like for what could you say for our subscribers watching that want to get into this YouTube, that want to be like out there with the questionnaires and getting like live picture people, like stuff like that you're doing, man. How could you briefly explain to them like how hard this work is, like how long are you out there every night, like some finding like footage that you ain't really using, like having to trial tribulations going through the whole thing.
Okay, so first I want to start off with a quote that I heard from a TikToker. The enemy of action is perfection, or perfection is the enemy of action, right? So a lot of times people, what's making them hesitant of getting into the field is they think I have to have the perfect camera, the perfect microphone, the perfect everything, right? Really, all you need is this right here, and then a computer. You need a camera and a computer to get started, right? So a lot of times that's what people do. Me personally, I watched from behind the scenes for a couple of years as a YouTube manager, managing YouTubers. So that's why I've been able to grow so fast. But me personally, every Friday and Saturday, sometimes Sundays, sometimes throughout the week, I'm out there. I'll head out. I'm able to do it a little bit quicker, but whenever we first started, I was out there during the day getting a video. I was out there during the night getting a video. If you see, I have daytime interviews, I have nighttime interviews.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Those are filmed back to back. And on top of that, at the time, like the video I see on the back of John's screen, we filmed 4 videos that night. There was 2 during the day, 2 during the night. We were flip filming, right? So this is another trick that a lot of people are hip to right now, right? If you have somebody that's educated in your space, boom, you film for him. Use the same people, just a different question, and he filmed for you.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's smart knowledge with that. And then what would you say, like location wise, like so I'm pretty sure like you're familiar with the man. Like it's pretty much how I came across your content. Like me and JP man, we watch Juju like all the time. So like like just following this content for a while and doing it, and that's how we came across you. I was like, man, who's this new dude right here, man? And we went through like 2, 3 year videos. We were like, oh man, let's put him on the list, man. He's staying, man. Like I want to say I found you when you probably had like 6, 7K subs, and I see now, man, you up to a dub. I'm like, man, he's growing, man. That's why I want to reach out to you.
Oh yeah. So what's funny is that you mentioned Juju. So that's actually who I watched for years.
Okay.
I was Julius. You're talking about TJH Juju, right?
Yeah.
So I was his manager. I was Juju's manager for years, right? So I did his partnerships, helped him with contract negotiation, sponsors, all that, right? So for years I had been watching him. I've known him. We're both from Ohio, right? So he was one of my first friends.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of my first friends ever from Ohio. So that's what I did, watching behind the scenes for years, getting in touch with different content creators, networking, edit, like film, like figuring out how to film, figuring out what locations are hot, figuring out how to coordinate my questions. So it's funny that you mentioned him because a lot of my inspiration behind what I did came from Juju.
That's cool. What you can share with these people, man, about how important networking is while you're trying to do a business online, especially with content creation?
What I can say is never be scared to go talk to another man. At the end of the day, I was always raised on like they bleed just like you, or the worst thing they can do is say no or ignore you, right? They say, let's say they ignore you or they say no, move on. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna feel some sort of way, or I'm gonna cry if he doesn't like react to you. Well, you know what? They don't owe you a response. At the end of the day, you know what you do? You move on, go to the next person, and if you don't, somebody else will. Because if you want to stay stagnant and while you have cold feet, somebody else's feet are moving. So just remember that if you don't want your spot taken, you got to do what you need to do to get up and moving. So a lot of the reason why that I'm so good at talking with people or networking is I'm not afraid of a yes or no. I've had that approach with women, and I would say I have no shortage of women, or have had no shortage of women in my life. I was in college, but yeah, just approach people. Feel free to reach out to people. Everybody's got messages. Everybody's got a phone number, a Snapchat, an Instagram, or some sort of way to be contacted. Hit all those avenues. If they don't hit you back, move on to the next person.
Well said, man. Have you ever like let's say you went out on a Friday or Saturday night and made content and it wasn't what you wanted and you scrapped the whole thing?
So yeah, so a lot of times, like, and I've been running into this a lot as of recently in Texas. So like, there's a lot of YouTubers here, and like the microphone frequencies bounce off of each other, and so sometimes like the quality of the audio is shit. So you got to decide, do you want to use this for a full length video, or I can just parse this out and make shorts, TikToks, or whatever it may be. And then other days, I'm like I said before, I have a question, and I'm just like, yo, this isn't hit. After 3 or 4 questions, switch gears, go to the next question. Or before I was flip filming, before I had a dedicated camera person that we don't have to flip film for, and I'd be like, all right, you give it a shot. You start asking your questions, and I'm gonna try and figure out a rhythm based off of what you're doing and figure out my question. Have I ever had a time where I filmed the whole night and I scrapped it? No. But I have 20 videos that are saved up that I can post at any time. So I'm just like, oh, I don't have anything that I shot last week, or I took the weekend off. I don't recommend people doing that when they want to build up a channel. But I have taken weekends off because there have been weeks where I filmed 4 or 5 videos. Like I did a whole East Coast tour and went to 30 different cities. I didn't film in all the different cities, but I went to 30 different cities, and there were days where we were filming there were 4 times a day, And then there were weeks where we were filming 7 videos in a week. A lot of times people were filming one time a week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've learned with YouTube, man, you gotta put in the work, man, and stay consistent.
For sure.
All right, man. Let's keep it real short, man. I got 2 more questions for you. What would you say is the most offensive question that you've asked women, and they just kind of like they go from 0 to 100 like real quick, like?
I would say really though. So I try to shy away from like pissing women off because I do want to maintain some sort of an image, and I do work corporate. I have a 9 to 5. So if you notice, like my content, I'll ask a question that's like PG-13, and I'll get our answers, right? So I try to like give them an opportunity to speak for themselves. They embarrass themselves. So I ask very vague questions, but really, a question that I've gotten like mixed responses on, honestly, was just the body count. Like the video that's playing right now in the background. A lot of times people are like, "Oh, that doesn't matter." Da da da. I'm like, "Oh, it doesn't," and it's kind of like a give and take. They're like,
whether they want to or not.
Exactly. They're like, "Well, why can't a guy have that, or why not?" And I'm just like, do you hold a guy to that standard? And they'll be like, "No, because it doesn't matter." And I'm like, "Well, a guy says it does matter." So that's the only thing. I haven't really asked anything that really pissed women off.
Okay. And lastly, man, what do you say out here for the men out here, man? What kind of tips you got out here talking to hundreds of women, man, all the time? Like, what's the best approach a man could be to be successful and get the ladies out here?
So we touched on a few of them today. One, hit the gym, right? So you hit the gym, you're gonna have more testosterone in your body. Contrary to what America is telling you right now, more testosterone is good. You put it in the right direction, you put it towards the gym, and you put it towards different positive energy things. Not anything crazy, but the right positive things. Good testosterone is going to be good for you. So hit the gym. Be dedicated to whatever craft you're dedicated to. So like obviously people can see I'm dedicated to this YouTube stuff. I have a 9 to 5. I run my own business, right?
Okay.
People start to see what you're doing. They're like, "Oh, Don's in this city. Don's in this city.
Yeah.
Let me keep tabs on them." People are keeping tabs on me, and I don't even know who they are, right?
Yeah,
so once you are involved in yourself and allocating the right amount of time to yourself, people see that and they want to start getting a piece of your own time. That's why I'm saying don't allocate any of your time to chasing women, because women are going to end up chasing you based off of the different things that you're doing. Other things, be ready to communicate to people. So like I said before, cold feet. If you go and approach a woman and you don't know how to speak, she's gonna see that. It's just like an animal. They can see.
She'll be looking at you.
What?
Crazy.
Looking at you crazy, right? Like who is this? Who's this corny dude? Is this the dare? Where's the camera at? Like you know what I mean? So you gotta be confident. You're not gonna. This is another cliche thing. You're not gonna. I forget the exact term or the exact phrase, but basically you're not going to hit every shot that you take, right?
Yeah,
so a lot of people are hesitant, like, "Oh, I don't want to get rejected." You gotta implement that same thing with business, women, everything. You're not going to know until you try.
Exactly.
Attractive women.
I tell people, man, you miss every shot that you don't take.
Exactly. You know how many attractive women? Go ahead, John.
No, I was saying
not everybody's gonna like you.
Exactly. And you know how many attractive women are out there with corny dudes, ugly dudes? And you know what the difference between?
We talk about that every day.
Every day. And you know what it was that got them? They took the shot. A lot of times, dudes are standing in the backfield like, "Oh, how's that corny dude, that lame dude get that girl?" Because he went and talked to her, while the hot dude or the poppin' dude just expects them to come to them all the time. Sometimes you just got to take that step.
Yeah, For sure. All right, man. Appreciate your time, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you get out there and get the gym and get these games done, man.
Of course,
Thanks
of
for your
course.
time. For sure, man. Keep up the good content, man. We over here following you, man. We'll get 100K soon, man.
Yes, sir. 100K on the way. Appreciate you guys so much.
Appreciate you, man.
Hopefully, sometime I can come out there to y'all.
Oh yeah, you're right. Tell me, man. Be sure, yeah, let us know.
Got you.
All right, everybody, man. Go ahead and tune into ChefDon's channel, man. Real good content, man. He's gonna be going a lot of places, man. For sure.
Dom the Marco.
All right, man. We'll touch base with you again, man. See you soon, man.
Peace.
All right.